YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of K Dub Palace. I'm your host K Dub. Today we have some basketball topics. Y'all probably seen the game or the highlights yesterday of the Pacers and Bucks. It came down to the wire. Haliburton hit a controversial side three in the corner. There was controversial is if he stepped out of bounds or was inbounds. So that was about. It took like 10 minutes to like review. Um, so it took like 10 minutes to like review. See if it was good or not, but it was good. Um, Dame did not play very well in the second half. In the first half. I think he only had 2 points in the first quarter. He had 2 points in the first half, as a matter of fact. Finished the game with 15 and 11. But Giannis had 19 and 17. But Pascal Siakam was the main story at the half. He had 16 and 10 at the half. The Haliburton, who's come back from injury, had 14 and 10. Solid performances by both sides. Giannis, Dame, and Siakam and Haliburton. But that shot by Haliburton was crazy. It was an and 1-3, which was a 4-point play. It was a good shot. It was definitely a good shot. The Bucks definitely had the game. But yeah, and then so after the point had counted, there were no timeouts left. Gave Giannis the ball. He sprinted down full speed and missed a 3-pointer, which ended as a final score. Yeah, man, but Giannis, man, they have to get healthy. But Kyle Kuzma was a little out of control with the ball yesterday. Didn't really shoot the ball well. He was 44% from the field. 0 for 3 from 3-point range. Yeah, they just have to get, they just have to get healthy. That's their main thing. Just get healthy. But the Pacers overall, they have a team. The players off the bench, they were combined for 32 points off the bench. Um, um, and then as far as the starters, they were combined for 49, 74, 83 points combined for starters. 4 players were in double digits, with Pascal Siakam leading the team in points. So, shout out to the Pacers. They got that win. Now, as far as if we scroll through the games last night, Zion had a triple double against the Pelicans. He's looking healthy. Had 22, 10, and 12. He came out in a press conference earlier and said that he wants to play back to backs, but it's the Pelicans as an organization that's making him sit out certain games. So as of right now, Zion wants to play back to backs, but it's the team that's telling him not to. So I think he's listed at 265 pounds, which is 20 pounds less of what he was when he was going through the injuries and stuff. So I mean, when Zion's healthy, he's a superstar. When he's healthy, the team is better. But as a whole, the team has not been healthy, and they've been struggling with injuries. Obviously, DeJounte Murray out with the Achilles. They traded Brandon Ingram. The emergence of Trey Murphy is going to help. Um, yeah, the off the bench they have Jose Alvarado off the bench. They got some other key players off the bench, for the Pelicans. But I mean, they got Bruce Brown, they got Kelly Olynyk. They still have players like that off the bench that can provide a spark. Obviously, you got C.J. McCollum. But they do have to figure out as far as like what they're gonna do with like C.J. McCollum. Um, will CJ be a part of the team moving forward, or will he be a trade, or will he be a trade asset um, for like a knockdown shooter, like a Duncan Robinson or somebody like that who can come in and knock down shots? Will he be an asset for just like a knockdown shooter? Because I think the Pelicans right now, they need a 3-point shooter. They need somebody who can consistently shoot the open threes, shoot threes. Obviously shooting threes is very popular. So if they can trade CJ for a knockdown shooter, I say Duncan Robinson, because at one point he was one of the best 3-point shooters in the league, and now he doesn't really get a whole lot of burn with Miami. So maybe he can be an asset to a young upcoming team like the Pelicans. Um, Unless CJ is part of the future plans, they're probably trying to build around Zion and DeJounte and Trey Murphy. And Jose Alvarado, I like his energy off the bench. Maybe you build around that core. You build around that core and then go from there. But Zion's looking very, very, very healthy, regardless where they are in the standings right now. But I mean, we'll see going forward, what will happen with Zion and the Pelicans moving forward. Going into now, the Cavs almost lost last night to Brooklyn. They was down like 15 points, and then Darius Garland dropped 30 and brought them back, and they ended up winning. No Donovan Mitchell in this game or DeAndre Hunter due to injuries. But Garland was able to lead the Cavs yesterday in Brooklyn, well, in Cleveland, with the win versus Brooklyn. So shout out to Garland and the Cavs. OKC. So tonight, OKC plays the Celtics. The number one seed in the West, OKC, and the number 2 seed in the East go head to head tonight. Probably a preview finals matchup. We'll see, but Shea MVP. I think he's MVP this year. Obviously, it's a 2-man race between him and Jokic. I think Shea wins. I think Shea wins MVP this year. So we'll see how that matchup goes. And then the second game tonight, we had the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Those are two games to look forward to for tonight. So Shea versus Tatum, then we got Ant-Man versus Jokic. I got the Celtics beating OKC. I got OKC beating the Celtics tonight. I got OKC beating the Celtics, and I think I'm gonna go with the Nuggets over the Timberwolves for the second game tonight. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, man. But it's gonna be some good games coming up. And yeah, so those are the games for tonight and for previous games. Now I do want to speak on Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. Smith called LeBron weak on the Gills Arena pod with Gilbert Arenas, Kenyon Martin, Nick Young, Rashad McCants, and Brandon Jennings. Stephen A. finally made it to Gills Arena after being called out by Gills Arena. Stephen A. finally makes his appearance after he signed that 105-year deal, $100 million 5-year deal with ESPN, making him the highest paid sports analyst in the world, I think, in the world. So shout out Stephen A. But Stephen A. does call LeBron weak for approaching them at the game instead of talking behind closed doors like one-on-one. He said how LeBron approached them during the game was weak. So he said numerous times he wasn't talking about him. He wasn't talking about his son. He was talking about him specifically. So, um, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if they had a relationship prior, but it's looking like Stephen and LeBron are going to be speaking um, for the foreseeable future. It's I think the thing, and then obviously you seen the audio with him with LeBron and RJ kind of talking before the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a thing where it's like, but you just don't talk about somebody's son, like regardless, like you can criticize the game, which he did. He criticized as far as he, I really think he criticized Bronny as far as like how he was being used for the Lakers is what he was criticizing. But I think like I said in the last video, what kind of made LeBron go off was when he started, was when Stephen A. had mentioned him like as a father, he needs to stop. And like when you try to question somebody's father, you question somebody being a father, I think that's where LeBron kind of didn't appreciate it. So regardless of how relationship is going forward, I think this has been the main topic since Friday, since what Thursday, since Friday, and it's Wednesday, March 12th. So yeah, it's probably gonna be going on for the next. Probably it'll finish out throughout this week, and then next week it'll be something totally different. So this is something that's not really meant to be stuck on as like a topic, as far as like a topic to talk about. It's not really important, so we can really we can move on from it. But other than that, man, that's about it. This episode was short. Nothing crazy is going. It really has been going on. The playoffs is coming up. The playoffs is coming up. March Madness is coming up. So it's gonna be a lot of college basketball to speak on. I know I've tried to talk about the women's college and like the men's college with Cooper Flag. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of college basketball to talk about, and yeah, we'll see how um, things are moving forward. But that's gonna wrap up today's episode of K Dub Palace. Um, I'm your host K Dub. I'm your host K Dub. This has been another episode of K Dub Palace. I'm your host K Dub, and y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'm gone.